Good afternoon. I'm Mike from the Bench Jeweler. Our website is mybenchjeweler.com. In this series of videos, we are going to learn how to troubleshoot problems you might have encountered on how to clean and oil your clocks. Those are the videos which we have a number of. This video is part 1 of troubleshooting your clock. We already have done part 2 on troubleshooting, and we will be going to do parts 3 and 4 in the next day or two. So let's begin with part 1, which is a little bit on tools that you will need to oil your clocks properly. For those of you who have been through the tools and oil, no need to waste time on this video. So we'll get started now with troubleshooting how to clean and oil your clock, part 1, tools. To begin with, we sell these small little oil kits. They're about $35. That's, I believe, or $36. But that includes your shipping and your sales tax. So we'll get to this now. When you oil the clock, a lot of people have used in the past, we found sewing clock oils which won't work. Please don't use them. Transmission oil and fluids, they're not any good to be using. The viscosity of those are the wrong thickness, and they will eventually eat your clock up. DW40, they spray it on the back and it eats and leaves a green film and destroys your pivots and ruins your clock. Don't do that either. So what do you want to do? Well, you want to buy the right oils, which are clock oils in the clock grease, which won't attack any of the plastic gears you might find on the newer movements that are out on the market, such mostly in cuckoo clocks. So we'll grab this. In your kit, you'll get a number of things. You'll get these large Q-tip cleaners, which are real tight wound cotton on the edges of those, and they clean in your clock real well. Don't use Q-tips. They just don't work. They're too soft, and they're not the right firmness to do it. On the back of these are all sharpened to a point, and that is used to dig out all the oil and the bad grease and stuff that's built up on your pivots. And the reason you do that first is so that you can see what you've got before you oil it. So you would clean your the pivots or the oil sinks in your clock with these little sticks here and the little points. You get all the loose grease and sludge that would be built up in there. You'll see it's mostly black. Then the next thing you want to do is after you've cleaned your pivots and you got your clock all nice and clean, you want to get your oils out, and we use what we call red dragon clock oil. It's the best as far as I'm concerned on the market. And then you have these little cups here, and you just pour just a little dab in there, and this is your escape wheel and the oil, and the only thing that's used for is your escape wheel. So we'll get into that troubleshooting part 3 and 4. Now, a lot of questions come up. Is it okay if I buy some of these inexpensive little clock oilers that you see on eBay and Amazon and so forth? And that's these little fellows right here. And no, it's not okay to use those. They're not made for oiling clocks. They're made for oiling watches and pocket watches. Excuse me. You usually get this little fellow, which allows 3 different types of oils for your watches and pocket watches, and then you get these little oilers, which they're all about the same. But if you look at the tip on these, and I'm going to just lay this up here like that there, you can see that you can't actually see the tip because it's so fine. Okay, here is closer up view of these watch oilers and the watch kit. These oilers are absolutely not any good for anything but watches and pocket watches, so don't use them. Get the right stuff, and we provide it. We use clock oilers and clock grease holders, and that's the only way to go. Let's go ahead and take a shot of this thing. You see how tiny that is? We'll come back out just a little bit. So that's that little tip right there is what you're trying to oil, a great big pivot on a clock, and it's not made for that. In fact, this handle is so short that it's a pain in the butt to look at that. You're trying to hold on to that and trying to oil a big clock. It's just not going to work. So let's go ahead and stay away from those and get the right stuff. So what do you want to use? Well, here's what you want to use, and this is why you want to use it. These are, I'm going to come back out. I'm sorry for the echo in here. This is the student teaching room, and there's no students, so it's real quiet in here, and you can hear the echo. But I'm going to go ahead and put one of our clock oilers on here, and you can see the glare there. Now this is a clock oiler. You see how much bigger that is? And I'm going to try and rotate it here a little bit so you can see it. There you go. They're angled. There's a little diamond tip on them. And they're quite stout, so they won't bend. Those little watch oilers, you even touch it wrong and you've got it'll break off of there. It'll bend and break, and then you won't have it. So unless you're doing a oiling on a watch or a pocket watch, don't use them. These are what you want right here. Now the other one is the greaser, and it's kind of got a little angle on it, and you use that to dip your grease in your insert here. Let me open one of these up. This is your grease. See how that's sticky? And this, then you can apply this right to the cams and lobes, and the hammers all have cams on them, and you want to put a little dab of oil on each one of those. That's explained further on several of our other videos, but this is why you don't buy those little oilers and try and do this. So with that, we'll put that back in here. So this is your greaser, and these are custom made by us. So they're American made product, which is really nice. And these are, like I said, they actually are designed to oil your clock and do it properly. The next thing are these little blue oil extractors, and what they're used for is if you over oil one of your pivots, that's as bad as not oiling it enough. If you over oil a pivot, and there's a little well sink there, and that's where you're putting your oil, you get too much in there, it'll flow over the top of your back plate or your front plate, and the oil will through capillary attraction pull out of your oil sink, and then you won't have any oil in your pivots. So you can use these little fellas. You would just touch the oil well if you had too much oil in there, and this will suck up some of that oil. And by the way, these are reusable. You just use a alcohol cloth and dip it in the alcohol, and then just wipe these off, and they're reusable for 3 or 4 times. Eventually the little fuzzy thing on the top there, which sucks up that oil, that they wear off of there, and then they're no good. So we give you 4 of them, and that way you have plenty of these to clean your clocks with. And these will do you know, 5 or 6 clocks real easy. But you got to have these to get rid of that oil out of the well if you've over oiled it. Also, if you over oil it, sometimes the pressure of the oil in the well will push the oil through the backside into the gear housing, and then it'll through capillary attraction, it'll drain out of the backside, go down onto your gears, and then you got a mess. Try and avoid that by use these fellas. That's what they're for, and it takes out the oil, and it makes everything work so much better. So that's what those are for. And these are the cleaning swabs, and be sure you use these cleaning swabs. Now I've used a couple of these, so these aren't really any good, but they are ground to a point on the bottom side of them, and they're designed so you can dig all the grease and crap out of your clock pivots. And once you do that, you use once you've done that, you can use your mineral spirits, odorless mineral spirits. You can use a lighter fluid, it will work. I don't really like it because it can eat that lacquer off of your plates. So you're better off to use mineral spirits. A little quart can of that, a couple, $3, you know, and that you just dip that into a little styrofoam cup or something, and or a paint cup, and you use that with your cleaning swabs. So that about does it on the clock kits. The greases are the next thing coming up, and we have these 3 sizes. So this one comes with your kit. This is about 15 grams, and you can also buy that on our website if you want more grease, or you can buy the extra large size grease on our website. And we have another one which is even bigger than this. But the cost of this stuff is really, really, really huge. I think I went into that, but a barrel of this, a 30-gallon barrel of this is $2,200 plus $300 freight to get it in here. So we do kind of caution you to use this, you know, within reason. It works also because it won't attack your plastic gears. It's wonderful stuff to lube your computer printers with, and anything that has a cam or an operation on as such. This is a good sealer for putting on O-rings and sealing the case on some of these different things that you might be using. But basically it's designed for clocks, and it is Red Dragon clock grease. So you need that to okay. Anyway, that last part, which I'm not sure we got it recorded, is the greases and the swabs. These are the swabs. You can buy a package of these, or 16 cleaning swabs, and there are 6 oil extractors. So this will do a lot of clocks, especially if you're an antique dealer and buying a lot of clocks. This will absolutely work perfect for cleaning a bunch of clocks. And these, I think, come at about $8, $8.50, somewhere in that area, and they're on the website. You can order these separate of your oil kits, and they're nice to have. Now, this grease on this small here comes with every kit, and then the next grease up is I think this is 15 grams roughly, and that is the white grease. It is plastic free, so you can use it on any plastic, especially like if you have a computer and you want to oil the cams on your computer printer. Works beautiful for that kind of thing, or anything else you might think of. But the grease is terribly expensive, so you kind of want to be careful and don't contaminate the main source here. It also comes in about 22 grams, which is this bigger one. Right here. And then we also have another one which is almost an ounce. I believe it might be a ½ ounce or right in that area. So, and I don't have a can of that where I can show it to you, but it's about 2 inches in size. This is 1 5/8 inches. So the greases are very expensive. They run, well, we buy it by the 30-gallon barrel. I'm telling you that right now it costs $2,200 and $300 freight. So we do use the grease sparingly, and a little can like this will last you for quite a few clocks. And the next one up is, you know, if you're doing a lot of antique clocks and grandfather clocks, and you're learning to oil them properly and grease them, you're going to want to probably buy a can of this or the bigger can. And we ship this, I think this is 12 something, and it's freight paid. So on the website you can find all of this under the products. Go to clock tools, and you'll find everything there that you need to get for cleaning and oiling your clocks. And like I said, this is troubleshooting part A. This is kind of going over the tools. Part 3, we're going to troubleshoot a cuckoo clock and show you how to take it out of the case, what to look for, how to clean that, and troubleshoot it. And then part 4, we're going to go back into how to check your pivots and stuff on your grandfather clocks, and how to clean those and troubleshoot the problems that you might run into after you've done that. So stay with us, and we'll get to the next couple lessons here on troubleshooting as fast as we can get them made up. Appreciate it always for watching our videos, and really thank you for doing that. So this is Father's Day weekend, and I hope all you fathers out there are having a great time. So this is Mike saying good day, and we'll close the video.